Hi friends, in this video session let us talk about carbohydrates, a very important biomolecules of the living system, the properties of those carbohydrates. So let us start the session. The course code for this session is 24PGFNC103 and the course name is Nutritional Biochemistry. So let us start the session now. So the course objective is to understand the applications of biochemistry in the field of food science and nutrition, then to learn the metabolism and biosynthesis of essential nutrients. The outcome of this course is recall the biological structures, the biomolecular structure and relationship of macronutrients, and describe the biochemical pathways relevant in nutrient metabolism. So structure of the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, you see that they are all very important organic compounds. They contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen with general formula CnH2ON. All these compounds, they have C double bond O, that is ketone group, and OH, that is hydroxyl group as functional groups. The classification of these carbohydrates is based on size of a base carbon chain, the number of carbons, number of sugar units present in a carbohydrate, then location of carbon double bond O, that is ketone group, and based on the stereochemistry also they can be classified. So classification, say they are classified based on the number of sugar units. For example, monosaccharides, they have only one sugar unit, single sugar unit. Disaccharides, they have two sugar units, whereas trisaccharides, they have three sugar units. Oligosaccharides, they have up to 10 to 13 sugar units. Then polysaccharides, they have more than 10 or number of sugar units will be even up to 100, more than 100. They are called polysaccharides. And here you can see that the structure of the polysaccharides, and even you see that here this is the bead structure of these subunits. Coming to the stereoisomerism. What is stereoisomer? It is one of the isomeric form of the carbohydrates, in that we are having two types of isomers, D and L notations. So by convention, the letter L, this L denotes the structure with the hydroxyl group, that OH group on the left side. You can see that this is left side OH in this L-glyceraldehyde. That is why it is called L-glyceraldehyde. And this carbon atom is the chiral carbon atom. If the letter D denotes the structure here with the OH group on the right side, and that is why it is called a D-glyceraldehyde. And based on that we can have stereoisomerism, and here this is ball and stick model of stereoisomerism, and this is, you see that D form means this is the mirror image of that, that is a L form. These are all stereoisomers. And based on that you can have monosaccharides classified into several groups. D aldoses, dextrorotated aldoses. In that 3 carbon compound is D glyceraldehyde, 4 carbon is D erythrose, D threose. Similarly, D aldoses, that is 5 and 6 carbon sugars are there, and 5 carbon is D ribose, D arabinose, D xylose, D lysose. And they same aldoses 6 carbon compounds are the D, that is D allose, D altrose, D glucose, D mannose, D gulose, then D galactose and D talose. D ketoses are there. In that 3 carbon sugar, D ketose is digadroxyacetone, 4 carbon is D erythrulose, and D ketoses 5 carbon sugar is that is D ribulose, D xylulose, and 6 carbon sugar is you have D psychose, D fructose, D sorbose, and D tagadose. Coming to disaccharides, you see that lactose is a disaccharide which is having this glycosidic linkage beta D galactopyranosyl 1,4 linkage, carbon 1 to 4 linkage with beta D glucopyranose. So this is called galactose. And this is sucrose. This is the linkage between glucose and fructose, that is beta D fructofuranosyl alpha D glucopyranoside. This is the beta 2 beta to alpha 1 linkage. and this is trachelose. This is between the two sugar units. One is alpha D glucopyranosyl with another sugar unit is alpha D glucopyranoside. Here the linkage is alpha 1,1 linkage. These all the three are different types of disaccharides. These are all oligosaccharides. They have N-acetyl glucosamine, mannose, there is the red color one, then blue color one is glucose, and this is that formation of a oligosaccharide, and you see that you are getting that is cell membrane mannosidase, and high mannose oligosaccharide is formed here. Then polysaccharides, in that we have two categories, homopolysaccharides, example starch, glycogen and cellulose, and heteropolysaccharides we have chitin, heparin, hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfates, and this is a structure of amylose, a homopolysaccharide. And other heteropolysaccharides like hyaluronic acid, heparin are present in some of the fast foods also. And coming to this conclusion, see that carbohydrates are classified into three categories: monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. In that oligosaccharides are also there, and you see that monosaccharide example glucose, disaccharide sucrose, and polysaccharide it is amylose, that is starch, and glycogen is also animal starch but it is highly branched. And you see that sweet, based on the property sweetness, you can classify the sweetness of the natural sugars. See that the sugar, for example lactose, the sweetness is 0.16, galactose 0.32, maltose 0.33, and sucrose 1.00, and fructose 1.73, because this fructose is the highest, that is sweetest sugar, which is having highest value of 1.73 in this world. Then aspartame is an artificial sugar which is having 180, and saccharin is also highest artificial sugar which is used as artificial sugar for sugar patients, 450, which is having highest value. But in the natural sugar, fructose is having the highest value. So he see this man is eating more carbohydrates, so too much carbohydrate will be converted into fat and it is stored in the skin and adipose tissues, leading to overweight, gain weight. This person is having that problem. That's why he is having overweight and again deposition of sugar, carbohydrate into fat in adipose tissues and under the skin. So this is a metabolic problem for this person. It's a carbohydrate disorder, that is called diabetes mellitus, which has come to this person. Because of that he is having overweight. And you see the pyramid, our natural food pyramid. In that pyramid you see that you can see that carbohydrates are having the first, the bottom of the pyramid. They are the major food biomolecules for us, carbohydrates, because they are under the bottom of the this food pyramid. Second level comes to fiber again. Fibers are also polysaccharides, homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Again, that they are also carbohydrates. So first two levels in a pyramid is occupied by the carbohydrates. Next level only protein and fat comes. So now based on this food pyramid we can understand the importance of carbohydrates. So we have reference books. The basic book for beginners is Principles of Biochemistry by Leninger. This is that book, Principles of Biochemistry by Leninger. Another book is very common one, Harper's Biochemistry by Murray and Granner, and this is that book, Harper's Biochemistry. Both are very, very fundamental books for biochemistry learners, that is beginners. This is quiz type. You can try to answer this. Which one of the following is a disaccharide? A. Glucose, B. Sucrose, C. Galactose, D. Fructose. Tell me the answer. Yeah, the answer is B. Sucrose. This is next question. Which one of the following is a milk sugar? A. Glucose, B. Lactose, C. Sucrose and D. Maltose. And the answer is B. Lactose, because that is present in milk. The next question, find out the animal starch. A. Cellulose, B. Chitin, C. Glycogen and D. Sucrose. The answer is C. Glycogen. So thank you all so much